This is casetools lab exercise number 3, and in this exercise we are going to see how to draw a sequence diagram. So sequence diagram is one type of interaction diagram that is used to describe some type of interactions among the different elements in the model. The sequence diagrams captures the time sequence of message flow from one object to another. Sequence diagrams demonstrate the behavior of objects in a use case by describing the objects and the messages they pass. The diagrams are read left to right and descending. In a sequence diagram, classes and actors are listed as columns with vertical lifelines indicating the lifetime of the object over time. The basic components of sequence diagrams are objects, actors, lifelines, activation and message. So let's see how an object looks like. Objects are instances of classes and are arranged horizontally. So the pictorial representation is a rectangular box which contains the object name with dotted lines. Then we have actors. Actors can also communicate with objects, so they too can be listed as a column. So the way how actors can be represented are using this stick figure. And we have lifeline. The lifeline identifies the existence of the object over time. The notification for a lifeline is a vertical dotted line extending from an object. Then we have activation. Activations modeled as rectangular boxes on the lifeline. It indicates when the object is performing an action. And this is how a activation looks like. Messages modeled as horizontal arrows between activations indicate the communications between objects. So it is represented using a simple symbol arrow. Then we have self messages. Self messages occurs when an object sends a message to itself. Then we have recursive messages, that is self messages occur when an object sends a message to itself within recursive scopes. Now let's see the example that we have taken here for this sequence diagram is shopping complex and a training scenario. Now let's see how this looks like. So this is the sequence diagram for the shopping complex diagram. Now let's see the functionalities of it too. And also, as I told, there's a second scenario called a training scenario. This also contains a sequence diagram, as you can see here. We will see what are all the functionalities that it contains. So for this shopping complex, the functionalities that it has is, first one is it provides the items, that is the customer provides the desired items, and the second one is barcode and quantity. The cashier provides the barcode and the quantity of items to the database, and then the database provides the price of the given item and description about the item. Then the display amount function, that is it displays the amount of the customer. Then after that, the customer provides an acknowledgement about the items saying that he is okay with the product, and then the cashier provides an end signal when all the items are over. Then the total amount function, the database totals up all the amount and produces it, and then the cashier asks the user about the mode of payment, and then the customer chooses the mode of payment, and the customer provides the credentials for the payment of the bill, and then the database generates the bill once the payment is done. So then the cashier provides the bill to the customer, and then this is the end of the purchase. So now the next one is the training scenario, where again we have set of functionalities. The first one is the customer, that is the employee sends a training request to the training manager, and then the training manager sends the request for an acknowledgement to the in charge person, and then if the in charge person is okay with the request, then the in charge person checks the registered course in the catalog, and after the checking is done, a consent is sent to the in charge person, and the in charge person either agrees or disagrees to the request for the employee. And then if the employee wants to cancel, that is if cancellation, the employee will have to request for a cancel request, and then he'll have to apply to the training person for a cancellation, and then he has to and the training person will then request for a cancellation to the person who is in charge of the training, and then the in charge person removes all the data from the catalog, that is again updating the dates, and then he updates all the information in the in charge all that is there in the database or the catalog, and then the cancellation updates are sent to the training person saying that yes, it is cancelled, or no, it cannot be cancelled. Then the training person returns the application back to the employee. Otherwise, if the employee is ready to work, he can take up the training after the approval of the in charge person, and then what he needs to submit is all his assessments and attendance. The employee provides his or her attendance and assessments to the training person. Then the remarks, that is the training person sends some remarks to the in charge charge person about the employee, whether he has completely or successfully done his project or not, and then the certificate is provided by the in charge person after going through all the remarks, and this is the end of the course. So this is how a sequence diagram is supposed to be drawn. Thank you.